Welcome to The Explainer. If you've ever gotten into a debate about Bitcoin, you know how quickly it can get messy. Is it money? Is it an investment? Well, today, we're diving into Michael Saylor's argument that maybe, just maybe, all our confusion starts with the words we're using, and that getting the language right could be the key to unlocking Bitcoin's real potential.
So let's get right to it. What is Bitcoin? Is it digital cash you're supposed to buy your morning coffee with? Is it the new gold? Or is it something completely different? Now, this isn't just some academic debate. According to Michael Saylor, this very confusion is the single biggest thing holding Bitcoin back. So let's break down his case for why we need a totally new way to think about it.
All right, first up, the confusion itself. Where does it all come from? Saylor argues it's not actually the tech that's so confusing, it's the labels we keep slapping on it. I mean, just look at this list. We call Bitcoin a currency, then an asset, then digital gold, and some people even call it digital energy. Saylor's whole point is that every single one of these labels creates a totally different expectation in your head. If you think it's a currency, you get mad you can't buy coffee with it. If you think it's an asset, you expect its value to go up. See? These aren't just different words, they're like different universes. And that's exactly why so many conversations about Bitcoin just go in circles.
Okay? So let's tackle the biggest one first. The one Saylor believes is the most misleading of them all. The whole cryptocurrency idea. The notion that Bitcoin is just a better version of cash.
Saylor's analogy here is just perfect. He says calling Bitcoin a currency is like trying to buy a latte by chipping a tiny piece off of a skyscraper. I mean, yeah, technically you could do it, but it completely misses the point of the skyscraper, right? Its purpose isn't for tiny transactions, it's designed to be a massive long-term store value. And a lot of this confusion, he argues, goes all the way back to the very first line of the original Bitcoin white paper, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. We all hear peer-to-peer, and we immediately think of, me and you, one person to another. But what if the peers aren't people? What if they're two central banks or two giant corporations? All of a sudden, cash isn't about buying a pizza. It's about settling billions of dollars in assets. We're talking about a completely different scale here. And here's where Saylor's argument gets really strategic. He says calling Bitcoin a currency isn't just inaccurate, it's basically a declaration of war. Think about it. The second you walk up to a government and say, hey, I'm creating a new money to compete with yours, you've just picked a fight you are never, ever gonna win.
So if Bitcoin isn't a currency, what about the next best thing? Digital gold. Well, before we even go there, Saylor says we need to take a really hard look at actual physical gold. Is it really the perfect safe haven we've all been taught to believe it is?
History is actually littered with examples where gold totally failed. When Spain brought back shiploads of gold from the Americas, they thought they'd hit the jackpot. But it didn't make them rich. It caused massive inflation that basically destroyed their economy. Same thing happened in ancient Rome. The lesson here is pretty simple. If you can easily increase the supply of something, you can't really trust it to hold its value over the long haul. Let's just put them head to head. You want to move $1 billion in gold? Good luck. You're going to need a fleet of armored trucks and a whole lot of security. With Bitcoin, you just need a password and you can send it to the other side of the planet in minutes. And while we're digging up more gold every single year, diluting its value by 2 or 3%, the supply of Bitcoin is absolutely fixed, forever. It's really the first truly scarce asset humanity has ever created. Saylor's final verdict on gold is, well, it's pretty brutal. He calls it dead money, just an asset that sits there, a relic from a slower, more physical time. It's not the foundation for building future wealth. It's basically a museum piece.
Okay, so if it's not a currency, and it's way better than gold, then what on earth is it? This is where Saylor introduces his big idea, a whole new way of looking at this. Digital property.
So what exactly is digital property? The easiest way to think about it is like prime real estate in a city that anyone on Earth can access. It's desirable, it's incredibly scarce, and it's a perfect place to store value for the long term. But instead of being built on land, it's built on the most powerful and secure computer network in the history of the world.
And everything comes down to this one number, 21 million. That's it. That's the total number of Bitcoin that will ever exist. No more can ever be created. It's not just kind of scarce. It is the only asset in the world with a supply that is absolutely, mathematically, and permanently capped.
To really get this, just imagine a digital Manhattan. But this city only has 21 million blocks of property, and no one, not a government, not a company,
Nobody can ever create more. Now, as the rest of the world gets more and more digital, and more people and more money start flowing into this new city, what do you think is going to happen to the value of those blocks?
So, why does any of this matter? I mean, who cares what we call it? Because, according to Saylor, this isn't just about changing words. It's about changing the entire strategy. And that has huge implications for pretty much everyone. This chart really lays out Saylor's entire worldview. Down at the bottom, you have the digital currency idea. He sees that as flawed and just asking for a fight. In the middle, you've got digital gold, which is better, but still doesn't capture the whole picture. And right there at the top, you have digital property, the most accurate, powerful, and frankly, the most productive way to understand what Bitcoin really is.
When you see it this way, everything clicks into place. For individuals, it's a way to protect your savings. For companies, it's a new tool for their treasury to create value. For entire nations, it's a way to build a stronger balance sheet for the future. And critically, by framing it as property, you avoid that political fight. You're not trying to replace the dollar, you're just buying some real estate in cyberspace.
All right, let's bring this all home with the one analogy that really captures the massive scale of this idea.
Just think about that for a second. The chance to get a piece of what could become the most valuable property in this new digital world before almost anyone else has even realized that the city is being built. That is the scale of the opportunity as Michael Saylor sees it.
And so that really leaves us with a huge question for our own future. As more and more of our lives and our economy move online, where are we all going to store our value? If it's not in physical land, then where? What's going to be the prime real estate of the 21st century? Well, if Saylor is right, we're looking right at it.